So every month, I usually come in here and I give you here's what this new tool does. Here's what this AI model can do now for you. Here's little tips, little suggestions, and, where the industry is going type stuff, right? But this month, I figured that I was just focused on showing you exactly when and where I have been using AI in a few of my recent design projects. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I am not taking full scale clients at this time. I have not been for 2 years at this point. I was doing a lot of new construction, but kind of pulled that back as I started teaching AI for interior designers. I am a designer myself. I fully believe that if you're going to teach AI for interior designers, you need to be a designer and also a tech nerd, and that's what I am. But I want to preface what I'm going to show you because what I'm going to show you is a very abbreviated version of the type of design that I think a lot of you guys are probably doing. But it just goes to show like when and where AI is helpful and, beneficial to your design process. And I will tell you, it is not beneficial in quite a lot at this point in time. There's still a lot that I am doing in the ways that I have always done them pre-AI. Okay. But then there's a lot that is now cutting down on the amount of time of this program to this program to that program. And then just like the monotonous re-entry of it all. Okay. So I'm going to show you my process, the tools that I used when and where, and then what the final output was when I did all of this. All right. So let's get started.
All right, so a lot of what I do now is actually housed right here inside of Canva. Aside from my organizational system within, a large language model, which would be something like creating a project for the conversations that I'm having inside of ChatGPT, or a space inside of Perplexity in the comment browser for all those conversations to keep them together with instructions. Or sometimes I'm using Google Notebook LM, which is a great way to basically upload all transcripts, project files, information, chat with it, recreate the information as video, mind maps, just like so many different interpretations of information. Okay, so those are some onboarding tools that I do. And of course, I'm always recording any conversation, meeting that we're having, and using that transcription to set like, to-do lists or preferences or just information about the project and updates as we move along. All right. So that is stuff that I've talked about in this series for quite a while, where it's kind of just like 101 now, using a recorder. Okay. And they're really built into everything. So if you haven't been doing that, that is number one. And then, get yourself a large language model. We've talked about the fundamentals of that here before as well. And just finding the one that works best for you. Now, Canva is that next layer that I add. So for my personal workflow, this is where I'm actually creating client presentations. And instead of creating what you would expect as a client presentation, this is a website. Okay. So Canva's new AI has really done some incredible things with some updates that I actually just last week sat in and watched a whole new rollout for updates with Canva. The future is crazy and they want designers to succeed. So they're just kind of like, here you go. And they're actually working really well now. But this is one feature here that I am just absolutely obsessed with is not giving PDFs to people. I do not like them myself. I can never find them. I never know what they're named. It's always, that generic picture. So you're like, oh no, where is it? And why is it clogging up on my storage? But with this, it's actually a website. Okay. Right here, you can see like this one hasn't been named yet. It's a new page, but this is literally converted when I said, make this a floor plan, or sorry, make this a floor plan, make this a website format. It's converted it to that. I also have a template now, so I use this same format going, into every project and just kind of switch out the images for my clients and, whatever we might be doing up here. So here is where, I include some before pictures that I might have. These are all some MLS. These are where I used Google Gemini and Nano Banana to create inspiration based off of the information that she created. Sorry, the inspiration that my client gave me, the conversations that we had, the client intake forms, which I use Typeform to do. I always have, and I've got a pretty thorough type form that I, use for intake that I can actually convert into prompts to then create these images here. Okay. And then here again, I use Nano Banana to start to like put things into the space so that you could see how they could potentially look. Changing the island color. These are real products. Now, some of these, like this one, that was conceptual at this point. Obviously, this art would not be there. Um, but just to kind of show like flow. Now, this one, changing the all the cabinets to green and like kind of showing a different way of doing things. These are a few different like wallpaper and table scenarios using actual stuff. Okay. This is where I accidentally dropped in my other client's design board, and I was like, oh, actually not bad. All right, here we got some more. So then, I just kind of put that at the bottom of my site. This is where I would show like my concept boards. So what I would be creating in Canva anyway, this is where I'm coming to show, the options, the selections, and I send a video explainer typically about like what I was thinking and where those things go. Um, I also have, floor plans here. Oh, disregard that. That one is in edit mode right now. So I've got floor plans here, just kind of depicting where, what chair options and table options, configurations here. So we just dropped the little things below. Now these pages are still being finessed a little bit, just so that we can do the call outs and the measurements. The only thing that I actually link in here is going to be the next steps, which is to do the purchasing majority through Daniel House Club, if that's the way that they want to move forward. And so this client right now, we're still in the design phase. I have another client that we are about to place an order and start getting things. We've started finding things during the sit test at market that are perfect. So here is where I basically took her favorite, and then while I was at High Point, I went and I looked at those tables and the products just to see like size, quality, all that, and I sat on them so that they could see like, if you can't see this product in real life, here it is. This is my friend Lauren. Lauren and I used to work together a very long time ago in our past life, and she came over with me in the eDesign tribe when I started that in the platform. And when that was acquired by Mydoma, she actually joined or went over to Mydoma in the acquisition as well. But so happy to spend time with her during market. And she, being my very tall friend, is 6 feet tall and was able to help me with this sit test because I am 5 feet tall. So I apologize for our crazy faces in some of these, but this is where I'm showing like what the products I specified actually look like if I was able to see them. So when this is ready, I just go ahead and publish this site, and I'm not going to republish it right now, but you can basically set up your settings here to either like password protect these things. Here you can add a logo. I have, my other brand is in here obviously, so I got to go in for this one. And if this is like a landing page, you can add search engines. This is for like your meta description. That's not like, I'm just giving her this link, and that's the easiest way for her to be able to see it. But that's how I do this. So, these are for those quick projects. All right. I practice virtually. I do not want to manage orders, like any of that stuff. That's why I use Daniel House Club for my concierge. But all of this is, contained here. The last part of it is, well, let me two more parts it. Um, so this is the whiteboard. All right, so all in this same project, you can, oh, I'm sorry, that one's not the whiteboard. That's in a different project. But I could technically convert this one over to a whiteboard, which is where we started with this entire concept. So all of that was done right here. When you're in page mode, you actually go right here and you can see sheets, documents, presentations, all these goodies. Now emails is new. If you're not seeing it, go to the next page. But the whiteboard is pretty awesome because it's just like a free space to do all of this. So now what I'm going to do with this client is actually go and use Banana again, go through the revisions, the few products that she was looking at that she liked at market, a few things that she liked elsewhere, which I don't care. Like that's just kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not trying to do all of the extra work because these are quick little projects, like I said, but no thorough renders here, just floor plans, which were done in Mydoma, and I will go through and do more construction drawings and do like measurements between the floor plan, the furniture pieces, and then add them. So anyway, that is my process. I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing behind the scenes in a super fast mode. I will be breaking all of this down very, very soon in upcoming workshops and the daily. So I hope to see you there.